Call of Duty. It's been around for a while now, fellas. I give the game this year a solid 9.8 out of 10. Unfortunately, I will be subtracting a point for every time the game has crashed, leaving us with a final rating of about negative 562,934 out of 10. The game this year is a lot of fun. Now, I signed the code of conduct, alright? That has not stopped me from making lifelong enemies online, but like most people, I have been playing this game a lot. Now, the gameplay you're seeing here is not mine. It is free to use gameplay from a fella named Above Plays, but as you can see here, this is footage from October 30th, about 2-ish days after the game's release, and you know, I've got my little platinum ARs and my max level, so it's safe to say I haven't seen the fucking sun. This video would have been out earlier, but I got put in YouTube timeout because of some fucked up jokes that I made. I digress, I'll talk about that another time. I'm seeing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 everywhere. I'm seeing a lot of positive feedback all over the place, and then there are some whiny little fucks bitching about everything. Now, I don't want to be one of those whiny little fucks by making this video, but as someone who's played COD really for my entire life, I just want to start a conversation on the differences that we are seeing in this new modern era. And before we even get into that, I've tried having this conversation with people. I've brought up some of the arguments that I'm going to make, and I immediately get hit with a,
you don't even play COD. How would you know what it was like? You play CSGO.
Here's a mind-boggling fucking concept. I enjoy both games. If you don't believe me, here is a clip of 12-year-old me recording a very high-quality Black Ops 3 live commentary gameplay.
YouTube, what is up? My name is X. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video. I just hit level 400 on Black Ops 3.
Jesus fucking Christ. Listen, I've been around, okay? I got called the N-word on Black Ops 2, just like everyone else, bitch. Now let's have a conversation. Call of Duty has gone soft. Is that a bad thing? Now this is gonna take a few minutes for me to explain, so please bear with me, and then I would love to hear what everyone else has to say. I will be responding to everyone. Let me start my little rant off by just saying Call of Duty right now is the biggest that it has ever been. It might not seem like it, but stats are stats and numbers are numbers. This recent game, MW2, it was the biggest 24-hour release in Call of Duty history, and it has already surpassed every other Call of Duty in terms of sales. Now, an achievement like this is only possible because of something known as word-of-mouth promotion. Call of Duty could sit there and spend millions and millions of dollars on advertising, shoving their fucking cinematic trailers down the general public's mouth, but that's not going to make a massive impact. When is the last time that genuinely you have seen a video game commercial on TV and been like, that's what I'm gonna fucking buy right there? No, you either search the game out yourself or you get a game recommended to you by a friend or by a YouTube video, any of that bullshit. And when you have a game like this one that is more forgiving, more friendly, more tailored to mass audiences, tailored to the general public, you are going to receive the best promotion ever, all as a side effect. And we have seen it all over the place. People on TikTok like,
This new COD is just like the old ones. I've been having so much fun. No more of that crazy movement crap. This is just good old boots on the ground combat.
you have people convincing their friends who haven't played COD in years to buy it. They're hyping it up, saying it's a lot of fun, but those people, the types of people that are saying those things, doing the work to make COD this high selling, what types of players do you think they are? Are they competitive players or are they the casual players? You know what? Fuck that. They aren't competitive players. They aren't your fucking slide canceling, reload canceling, YY Adderall infested freak shows. These are the players that are like, me sit corner shotgun, me wait for enemy, boom. And that is fine. But we all need to understand that is the majority of players, the people who come home from work, only have an hour or two to play, and just want to sit back and blow up terrorists on a video game. That's the American dream, as far as I'm fucking concerned, but we need to all accept it's all mainstream now. Call of Duty these days is everywhere, and they want to keep growing, right? Which means, in turn, you have to now prioritize pleasing the majority of players, and they are seeing this now. If they want more players, aka more money, then there can be absolutely nothing happening to you in-game that might make you not have fun. You have to make a game for the general public as a whole, not just the actual players. And we're watching all of this happen right in front of us right now. We've already seen it, and it is getting worse. We're going to talk about a few things, but man, we are going down a very pussy road. A very, very pussy road. I see a future, personally, where the majority of the things that made Call of Duty competitive just continue to get removed. So let's do a little analysis now, right? What did I see personally? How about the barracks in this game. You can't even see your own fucking KD. You can't see your own win-loss. You know what used to happen if someone looked at your KD and it was shit? You got called a fucking bitch. If you were terrible at the game, you got called terrible at the game. But no, if a casual player kept getting shit on and then saw in their barracks that they were shit, they'd stop playing or they wouldn't play as much. No more custom emblems because people might see a swastika or a cock. The sheer fucking horrors of someone on a rated M for mature 18 plus adult video game seeing another man's emblem of Mr. Adolf hitting a bong. I'm shaking in my boots right now. The camo challenges, you know, believe it or not, COD players from the future, those actually used to be hard. Now, I see the argument here. Absolutely. I think Rob, who works 27 hours a day in the fucking coal mines, should be able to come home and use a gold AK-47 if he wants to. But why is every challenge brain dead easy? Well, we know that answer. It's so that it appeals to everyone. But I almost got gold on my M4 by accident. One double XP weekend where you play like 2.5 hours a day, and I guarantee you could get mastery camo. 90% of the fucking player base is going to have that camo within 2 months. It's not a grind at all. I'm already like 25% there, and I didn't even try. And that's not a flex. 3 kill streaks, point blank kills, long shots for platinum. Again, if you want gold to be brain dead simple just so anyone can have it, knock yourself out. But what the fuck is the point of a mastery camo if 80% of the players can have it within 2 weeks? Those camos used to actually mean something. Do you guys remember when I did a little flashback back to 12-year-old me for a second earlier? I had the Dark Matter camo in Black Ops 3. I busted my ass for that camo. It was the priority of 12-year-old me's life because it was so rare. It looked fucking sick and only like 3% of the players had it, but you had to bust your ass. 100 headshots on every gun, bloodthirsties, revenge kills, and for some weapons, the challenges were just luck-based. You had to shoot down certain kill streaks that just no one would ever call in. But no, that shit is all in the past. You don't have to actually work for anything anymore because that's just too hard. It's unrealistic for the general public to have to work for a rare camo. Instead, they are simply handing it to people. Now, there's small gameplay features that just pile on top of this massive list. They removed gunshots, revealing where people were on the minimap. You know, before, if an enemy shot and you were managing the minimap well, you know, taking a couple glances, you could actually see the area of the map where enemies were shooting. And this helped people get more kills. It prevented a lot of camping, and it rewarded players for being able to multitask. But let me ask you a question, fellas. What types of players are the ones actually utilizing and benefiting from a feature like that? Are they the good players or the bad players? We already know the answer to that question. It's the good players. So now features like that are gone, and there is no consequence to playing as slow and passive as you'd like. It is just nerfing the good players. It's not buffing anything else. They are circumcising players with brains. On top of this, does COD think that they are slick with some of the shit that they are doing? I can feel myself getting more pissed in the middle of this rant. Almost every COD has been released with a full prestige system or level setup to reward the people who grind the fuck out of the game. But now they have caught on to this whole general public phenomenon. I promise you, it is not a coincidence that they aren't adding more than 55 levels in a Call of Duty game until 3 weeks after release. How are people missing this? People say, oh, the game was just rushed. No! Listen, I don't know shit about game development or programming, any of that bullshit, but I can fucking assure you, whatever they're cooking up for this whole Season 1 drop release bullshit could have easily been in the game at launch. But no, if the casual players who are actually driving more of their sales saw that people were hundreds of levels ahead of them, they'd feel unmotivated. They'd think, well, what's the point of even playing? I won't catch up to that. And so now we will wait weeks to have the privilege of being able to fucking prestige in a Call of Duty game. Now, those are pretty small adjustments, so let's talk about a big one. The elephant in the room, skill-based matchmaking. Now, I don't even hate skill-based matchmaking that much. For the two people who don't know, SBMM, which is what I'm going to call it, aka skill-based matchmaking, pretty much just means that you will only face players in your exact skill range, meaning that if you are shit, you are going to face shit players, and if you're good, you're going to face good players. This was not a thing in previous Call of Duties. Back in the day, anyone could get into a lobby with anyone, which, to be fair, would oftentimes lead groups of 28-year-olds trying to relax on Black Ops 2 into games with future CDL superstars. This is how Optic Scumpy, for example, used to go like 100-0 in public matches, which is not possible nowadays without reverse boosting. Now, I don't think skill-based matchmaking is terrible. Now, is it coddling the dogshit players? Yes. It's also making a lot of very bad players think that they are good, which I find hilarious. Now, Infinity Ward is not open with the skill-based matchmaking algorithm that they use. I ran an experiment back in Call of Duty Cold War with their skill-based matchmaking, and I would just go on COD Tracker and look at everyone's KD in my lobby, and I had a 1.7 KD in Cold War, and I would always face people with 1.5s to 1.9, so you were usually facing players within 0.20 of your KD going up or down. Now, I would say use that information however you'd like, but you can't check your fucking KD in this game. So if you're facing people who jump around every corner and are YYing for no reason, you're probably a good player. With that being said, obviously SBMM is so that they can baby the general public. Do you guys really think that all of these TikTokers who are saying that this is the best COD in years would be saying these things and getting everyone to buy the game had they gone 0-50 in their first matches? No. Even if you do manage to face better players, there's no more skill gap, at least with movement. Now, I'm kind of neutral on this. I miss some of the older CODs as well, and this new COD's movement is more similar to those than recent titles, but some people need a reality check. This user, It's the Dag, is not saying that this COD is the best in a decade because this game's movement is more like the original. He's saying that this is the best COD of the decade because in previous titles with more complex movement, he'd get his shit ran through like a white woman unblacked. Now, I agree. I prefer this movement as well, but that's just personal preference. I'd still play the other CODs. And I might enjoy playing competitively, but movement players will always be the fattest fucking losers to me. With that being said, that was a skill gap. If you get shit on because someone's mechanics are better than yours, whose fault is that? Now, you don't have to sit there and suffer through that. If you're not having fun, stop. But for the love of God, stop pretending you like this game more because the game's actually better. You like this game more because it's babying you because you're a little fucking bitch. So yeah, they removed all the advanced movement mechanics, and I mean, we know why. It's to please the general public. If Johnny Boy comes home from his 12-hour shift and gets fucking decked by a slide-canceling Adderall-infested freak, he's not going to report back to the boys and be like, this is the best COD in fucking years. This game is for casual players, and I think that's great. Add all the banners for the homos, reward camping, make everyone sign a little code of conduct saying that they won't hurt anyone's feelings. I don't give a single fuck. Don't release the game with the hardcore mode. Make the first season start 3 weeks after the game comes out. That way everyone can be the same level again. Get rid of the prestige system and complicated camos, whatever. But why does everything have to be for the general public? Like, is it genuinely that unfair? Is it that unbalanced to have one or two features for the people who actually enjoy trying? Now, you can make your argument that people who enjoy taking games seriously are dorks. And sure, yes. And I have absolutely no problem running around and having a good time, trying out new guns, going triple negative. That can be a lot of fun. But there are also other times, say in game modes like S&D, where I actually enjoy winning. I don't always want to be a fucking loser. I like actually playing competitively. And for me, personally, it's like that pretty much everywhere. I go to a bar and I play pool with someone. Yes, it's a game. We're hitting balls with sticks into holes. But do I just want to get shit on constantly? Not really. Clear skill issue, I guess. So yes, I enjoy competitive Call of Duty. I do wish that there could at least be some type of balance. Why can't anything in the game be set up for more advanced players? COD World War II had a whole game battle section for people who wanted to try competitive COD. Why can't there just be any skill gap anymore? Maybe I sound like a fucking boomer here, and if I am being one, let me know, and I will keep my opinion on this particular subject to myself in the future, but I feel like we're going down a very participation trophy type route. Oh no, you don't have to face really good players. No, you don't. You just face the bad players who are just as shit as you. Oh, here, you know what? Take this camo that's supposed to be hard to unlock. You've earned it, bud. No, you know what? Sit in that corner with your shield. Yeah. No one can see you on the mini-map, buddy, so go ahead. Why don't you just sit there? And listen, you don't got to worry about seeing any of those naughty things on those emblems. We would want you to get your feelings hurt. Oh, you lost and you went 0-12? Oh, that's okay. You don't need to see your stats anymore. You just back out, buddy. There's no bad wicks. You have nothing to worry about. Oh, you went 0-50? You went 0-50, you lost your 19th game in a row. You know what? Here's a pat on the back, buddy. You did a good job. The old Call of Duty is long gone, fellas. Do I think that this necessarily is a terrible thing? No, not really. The game is still a lot of fun, and I'm literally about to go hop on and play with my friends right now. Despite my very long and strangely passionate rant here, this game genuinely has been a blast to play, even if not competitively. Search and Destroy is so much fun. It's the most fun I've had on COD in years. I'm so glad that people are using voice chat again, and I'm really happy that Call of Duty is thriving the way that it is. I love seeing this many people online. I love seeing so many new people play Call of Duty. But man, I look back at these older games with just this very distinct fondness, and I miss those times a lot. But I would suppose that times are changing, and we can't live in the past. You know, if you were like me, you probably got shit talked for being a kid back when you played those games. But now, when you look back at when COD wasn't soft, you remember those times in a very great way. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is hop on the new COD and go scream at a child. Also, remove this fucking map.